and we do share a lot of common things as a people. Hence, we will continue to invest in what we call people-to-people relations. This is already happening through the number of South African rugby players that are playing in various teams here in Japan. The Minister of Art and Culture, who's here with us, was telling me that one of the players has just arrived recently. So the number is increasing. Program Director, we are emphasizing the importance of people-to-people relation because it becomes clear to do business when you know each other's culture. My delegation and I are here in Japan to fortify these partnerships, especially in light of the present geopolitical challenges confronting our nation and the global community. We want our two nations to collaborate with a particular emphasis on promoting inclusive economic development and ensuring a balance and increase in trade between our two nations. Let me talk a little bit about our government, known as the Government of National Unity. This has also been one of the priorities of South Africa's seventh administration. It is popularly known in South Africa as the Government of National Unity, or GNU, and in South Africa's democracy. Our convergence as a GNU has been inspired by a shared purpose across all political formations, which is building a better South Africa. 10 political parties in parliament. As you know, that often coalitions are maybe 3 or 4 parties. We are 10 political parties. But this GNU has given expression to our culture of collaboration regardless of our differences, because we obviously come from different political parties, but we are able to work together in this arrangement. The notion of solidarity to us is not a new phenomenon. Solidarity is what has earned our country democracy. Through solidarity, we seek to achieve a future that is people-centered, development-oriented, and most importantly, inclusive. This year, we will be hosting the G20 summit in November. Since the assumption of the role of the G20 presidency in December of last year, because we took over from Brazil last year in December as South Africa. And we want to make a meaningful contribution to the expression of the continent through Vision 2063, which is the Africa we want. Such an Africa is one that is more integrated into the global community and acts as a key player in the economy and the socio-political, one country have an impact at the global level. Currently, the world is facing severe and relentless challenges that are testing our global humanity and the solidarity between nations that served as a backdrop of the formation of the United Nations 80 years ago. Several major megatrends are influencing the world, including globalization, geopolitical instability, climate change, rising nationalism, demographic changes, technological convergence, conflict and war causing further hardship and suffering, therefore jeopardizing, subdued. And many economies, especially in Africa, carry the burden of unsustainable levels of debt. Across the world, billions of people are affected by underdevelopment, inequality, poverty, hunger, and unemployment. Our G20 presidency has been beset by tectonic shifts in global affairs. Challenges of multilateralism, while evident for many years, have become a dominant reality that continues to alter global realities and relations fundamentally. Conflicts between Russia and Ukraine, conflicts in the Eastern Democratic Republic of the Congo, in Sudan, in the Sahel, and in Gaza, continue to exert a heavy human toll and heighten global insecurity. Deepening conflict and instability across Africa and the world require coordinated preventative action, including a dedicated intervention on peace building that is programmatic in nature. In this regard, we are encouraged by the partnership between the United Nations University and the University of South Africa, UNISA, in cooperation with other relevant partner organizations to co-design and co-deliver required capacity building programs for African leaders and mediators for resolving conflict and blazing a path towards achieving peace, security, and prosperity. The timing is eminent and opportune. There is an urgent need for comprehensive African-centered peace-building research and training programs that span throughout Africa to address the urgent demand for capacity for conflict management and resolution, as well as society reconstruction. In our G20 presidency, South Africa will continue to advocate for diplomatic solutions. Inclusive dialogue is the foremost guarantor of sustainable peace. South Africa has shown a firm resolve in its foreign policy by promoting principles of justice, solidarity, equality, peace, and respect, underpinned by its commitment to human dignity and leaving no one behind. This is why South Africa has placed solidarity, equality, and sustainability at the center of its G20 presidency. Regarding our intention to place Africa's development at the top of the agenda, we have identified 4 priorities for the term of this G20 presidency. Our first priority is to strengthen disaster resilience and responses. To us, this is important as we have recently witnessed natural disasters such as floods across Africa, affecting both our coastal and inland provinces. Natural disasters cause widespread damage to infrastructure, economic activity interruption, and livelihood destruction, including unfortunate loss of life. The second priority is to ensure debt sustainability for developing economies. The G20 will prioritize debt sustainability for these developing economies, particularly addressing rising sovereign debt levels and servicing costs. Demonstrate leadership in addressing global economic imbalances and fill the funding gap necessary to achieve sustainable development goals. The third priority for South Africa G20 President is to mobilize finance for a just energy transition. South Africa's G20 presidents aim to mobilize financing for a just energy transition by focusing on limiting global temperatures increases in an equitable and just manner. The country has pioneered the use of country platforms to coordinate funding through the Just Energy Transition Partnership. The fourth, this priority is harnessing critical minerals for inclusive growth and sustainable development. Our hosting of the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors meeting and the Business 20 provided an opportunity for us to promote South Africa and Africa as a business and investment destination, and for the country to take the lead on providing solutions to global economic challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa is also making efforts to maintain investor confidence. We are addressing structural obstacles to economic growth. Local and international investors are now taking a fresh look at South Africa. We believe that addressing structural concerns is essential to maintaining investor confidence and ensuring long-term economic stability. It is only by accelerating structural reforms and harnessing the power of the private sector that the country can sustain economic momentum and attract further in foreign investments. As South African structural migration, managing national water infrastructure, reversing the logistics crisis, especially in our ports, restructuring state-owned enterprises, and strengthening the state response to corruption and organized crime. We have a program called Operation Vulindlela, which is a joint initiative between the Presidency and National Treasury, which aims to modernize network industries like transportation, digital communication, water, and power. Let me say a little bit about some of these issues, just briefly on energy. Our country is implementing several reforms to stabilize the country's energy supply, reducing load shedding risks, and accelerating the transition to renewable energy sources. Raising the licensing threshold for embedded generation project will allow private companies and power producers to build new projects without applying for a license, as long as they meet the grid code requirements. The Renewable Energy Independent Power Producer Procurement Program will add new generation capacity to the grid over the next 2 years, primarily through wind and solar power. This will ensure that we don't return back to the days of load shedding. On water, through the water sector reforms, we aim to increase regulations will ensure accountability for water quality and proper pricing for adequate investment in water infrastructure. Establishing a National Water Resource Infrastructure Agency will enable South Africa to expand its bulk water infrastructure and improve the management of existing water assets, ensuring water security over the next decade. On transport, briefly, in addition to all this, through the transport sector reforms, we aim to improve the efficiency of South Africa's logistic infrastructure. This will help to grow exports and attract skills and promote tourism. We are also implementing e-visa system and expanding visa waivers to make it easier for international tourists to visit South Africa without needing to apply for a visa through an embassy or a consulate. A visa recognition system is also being explored, allowing tourists to enter South Africa if they have a valid visa from a limited number of countries with strong security controls. Our industrial policy aims to unleash private investments and energize the state to boost economic growth and inclusion. This program director is an essential part of building investor confidence and the platform for job creation. Furthermore, South Africa has a wealth of natural resources, with gold being among the most significant minerals. But we have vast agricultural land and property assets suitable also for real estate development. Investors should take advantage of this opportunity as well as the diverse market, which include our position in Africa and the Africa Free Trade Agreement. Our government is committed to removing blockages to economic growth and lifting expansion to above 3% of GDP in the medium term. As the government of South Africa, we have also made a concerted effort to adapt to a new reality by changing business practices and reviewing policies to keep pace with global trends. Government plans to invest in revitalize skills and generate high-quality employment. I'm sure Professor Marwala will be very happy to hear this. In this regard, the National Digital and Future Skills Strategy provides a framework for inclusive collaboration between industry, labor, higher education institutions, and the broader society to develop these new skills and capabilities for our nation. I want to briefly quote Professor Marwala here when he said the following. In one of his publications, he said, "Artificial intelligence will transform the job market, creating new opportunities while rendering some jobs obsolete. Our challenge is to prepare the workforce for this transition." It's you, Prof, on this one. Artificial intelligence is a transformative force that has the potential to revolutionize various sectors, including healthcare, education, finance, transportation. As artificial intelligence technologies develop rapidly, it is crucial to navigate this vast landscape with wisdom, thoughtfulness, and responsibility, as a professor said, ensuring that no one is left behind. So, as the G20 presidency has shifted to South Africa, artificial intelligence has emerged as a key area of focus, with UNESCO as a privileged partner. And through the G20 presidency, we aim to harness artificial intelligence for a medium to advance the Sustainable Development Goals agenda and address global challenges. We are encouraged by the United Nations University to work alongside other African countries to develop artificial intelligence, as I said, which has the potential to considerably boost the continent's economies. African governments are also recognizing the importance of digital economy, which is heavily influenced by artificial intelligence. The digital economy and artificial intelligence are becoming more important drivers of economic and social value creation throughout the world. So we as South Africa are investing in digital infrastructure, skills development, and entrepreneurship to assist Africa's digital economy to expand. I want to also once again quote, are not optional, they are fundamental. We must embed ethical thinking into the development of artificial intelligence technologies. I hope I quoted you correctly, Prof. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations University in Japan is a hub of knowledge and innovation, fostering a convergent group of bright minds to explore artificial intelligence potential for humanity's betterment. Once more, I urge the university to partner with African organizations on a journey of discovery and innovation that will shape humanity's future for generations to come. Professor, I did receive a letter from the Thabo Mbeki Foundation that they would like to partner with this university to create your presence in South Africa. I can assure you that I support that. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, because I need to leave some time for the panel, no challenge and no triumph exist in isolation. Cooperation is our greatest strength and our most powerful weapon. And once again, let me also join you, Prof, in emphasizing our guiding principle of Ubuntu. Minister Steenhuisen also used this word earlier on in a meeting where we were. And briefly, this means that I am because you are. It is a profound belief in our country. and it reminds us of our interconnectedness and the interconnectedness of humanity. It is this principle of Ubuntu that underpins South Africa's leadership and vision of the G20 presidency and our future. I am because you are. South Africa is dedicated to cultivating mutual understanding and collaboration across countries, establishing a feeling of oneness that transcends boundaries and differences. As we continue this conversation with our panel of ministers today, we should remember that true progress is achieved not through words alone, but through meaningful action and collaboration. We should be deliberate in our conversation and find more meaningful ways to strengthen our relationship, both in trade and investment. Let us work hand in hand towards a more just, equitable, and sustainable world order for all. Arigato gozaimasu.